What do you believe is the best way for businesses not to burn money or to throw it into a pit of despair? What do you think is the best way to get value from data?
I think that you have to plan. You have to treat data as a product, and you have to treat data as an asset as well. So, like the data team is not a concierge service that's there to answer people's questions whenever one comes into their heads or when they get an anxiety. The data team is there to produce data products and deliverables that are highly impactful to the business. And just like any product on the market, there needs to be some sort of design thinking or voice of the customer. This is another one of these things that call it 10 different ways, but in the end of the day, it's telling the data team what you need and designing it to be usable. And that takes time. That doesn't just take like 2 minutes on a Slack message. So there needs to be some investment upfront in that step of the process, as well as some really good systems engineering as well. And I think that that's something that's necessary. And also this understanding data as a tech field is also a misnomer. Data is a business function, or it should be a business function. And even the way data people talk about, oh, there's the business, that's the business. It's just like another country. It's like those other people over there who don't understand us. This way of talking has to change, and the mindset has to change. If you're going to be a data-driven business, that means that data is the business, and it's not like an IT support desk or something. And you have to get business people who are savvy about data into the data functions to use the data for data-driven decision making. Next to data analysts and data scientists, and maybe data analysts should be actually business analysts. That's also something I've been saying. People have different levels of agreeing with me on that. And then you have the data engineers who are doing the infrastructural work.
It sounds from what you're saying that there are responsibilities on both sides about data people realizing that they're in the business and those who are using that intelligence that's coming from the business. We need more. I don't know if they're simultaneous translators, but we certainly need more. Getting people to be more effective in their communication in their roles. Thinking about those who are hiring data leaders, because clearly, I'm thinking back to some recent guests that we've had on this Data Malarkey podcast. People who have been very successful marketing leaders, for example. I can think of a number of criteria that I would look for in a modern marketeer as a result of those conversations, and also much experience. What do you think that those who hire data leaders should be looking for in someone who's going to fulfill the role well?
Okay, well, let's say you're on a director level, or the person running the data for the company. This person should be a business person, not a tech person who sort of understands business because they've been working in a company for a long time. That is a big distinction, because running a data function is running the data part of the business. So there should be a profit and loss sheet, and the return on investment, the incremental revenue, the increased efficiency, the increased customer retention, and all of that. At one point, it translates into money. It translates into growth. So there needs to be that ability. And also the cost side. Often data leaders just don't look enough at costs. Okay. And there's many reasons for that, but you need to have somebody who has business sense enough to run a business and understand how you build a product, how you take something to market, how you understand your customer, how you get feedback and incorporate that feedback, and how you run a project, how you run a program. And those are business skills, and they could live in somebody who's an engineer, of course, but those have to be the primary skills. And too often, the data leaders are people are looking for the best programmers, basically, often. And those business skills are sort of things that people see as being easy, that people could just pick up. And the really sad truth is this is not the case, that a lot of data leaders are the best programmers or the best systems architects. And okay, systems architect, that's pretty good because a lot of systems are not well architected. But still, there needs to be, this recognition that there's business. And we're talking about business and we're not talking about code. Code is maybe some components of this, but it can't be the central part of data.
You make an excellent point, and it makes me think of the world of academia. I do quite a lot of work either directly or indirectly with the world of academia. And if you look at those leaders of academic institutions who have risen up through the ranks of being a brilliant professor of physics or chemistry or economics, whatever it may be, they're not necessarily the world's best administrators. And some of the reasons that they will fall down is because they are they're excellent. They may be Nobel Prize winning potentially, but or they may be at the top of their field, have the best publication records, attract the most grant funding, and not be able to manage their way out of a paper bag. So I think there's definitely the best programmers don't make the best data leaders.